Video shouldn't be more than a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. I already know where to do all 3 endings, so let's get to it. This is a game I will never forget. About that first ending I accomplished. I will never forget this game. This is one of the most amazing stories I have ever dealt with in a video game. Okay. Time to do these last 3 endings. I already know where they all are. The first ending, how would I be an ass in the first ending?
On your best behavior,
And just go set this girl free and leave everybody else to die. That would be the first ending. The final ending, I will go talk to Hades. Okay, let's do this. First ending I'm gonna do is be an asshole. I saved everybody during the first one, so I might as well just be an ass during the second one, you know? Okay, let me in there. It's so crazy how this man told me to go look for a way to stop him, for help him become the thing, and to find his daughter, to find out his daughter was kidnapped by him. She locked him in this room. But this time I'm gonna set her free. Me and just her. No.
What? Oh.
Come on.
Thank you. Now follow. Wait. Did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she? So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it? Do you really think you could take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bow? Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. The others should be right behind us. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Creative time paradox. That's the other ending. I left everybody to die in that ending. Saved myself.
Hi there. Give me. Funny you should ask. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. It described an freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking... It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive. Apparently, Scintilla and a handful of other citizens...
Oh, damn it, I fucked up the ending.
Oh, God, why does this writing look...
Yeah, I fucked up the ending. I gotta do it again. Okay, I need to go back again. I have to reset the day first. That's what I should have did. That means I have to go murder someone. I can't tell Gladius to go to the cistern. I have to just tell him everything's okay. Okay. You. I really don't like you. Now, you know what? I don't like you. Where are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I am.
Run.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Run! Go back in the past real quick. All right. Save here.
I don't...
Okay, there we go. That makes that done. Now all I need to do is...
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of...
Thank you. Now follow. Wait. Did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can
Alright, I'll
use.
distract him. Go ahead, do what you gotta do.
What did you do with Scintilla?
It was you? Okay, what'd you send me?
Where is she? So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it? Do you really think you could take on a Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer
I have his
for the
key.
sins
I
of
can
the
open the
one.
gate. Come on, we have to go. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al. Apparently, the only person to... let me see that. God, why does this... I've spent a lifetime... yeah. So you're saying... I get... Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct. I'm gonna pause here for a moment.
You're back! Really? Sounds amazing. And did you... Oh! Look! Here he comes! Ow! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. And there was a tablet describing an event supposedly the city was destroyed when a woman murdered my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy.
How could you...
She left a tablet of her own. I think she meant for you to... Here.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate. Ulpius, Cynthia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley, and the others. But please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours. I will live with the consequences of my actions, and all I can do is move forward, trying to show others the same compassion you showed me. I promise you that saving my life will not be for nothing. Scintilla.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. You two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest?
Sounds good to me.
And you?
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the
Greetings and salutations. How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Don't be so foolish. If you kill me, and if I... You see, it was my actions that brought you. That... Now...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al. Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Really? That's strange. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kinda rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina and murdered a local magistrate, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said that the voice of a furious god rang out, and the ground trembled and statues sprang to life, firing arrows at the city's inhabitants. Apparently, as the citizens screamed and died in pain, the stranger just vanished in a flash of light. What? You're saying... let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar? I've spent a lifetime in this place going around and around in circles. This is disturbing. But I don't understand how I could have... I'm not following. So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this. I guess. So what you're really saying is, you brought me back from the dead to let me die all over again. You saw the tablet. I spent a lifetime searching for a way out and never found one. I can't see how I could possibly find one now, so it seems like we're both gonna die here. How can you say that? You murdered a man in cold blood, and now there's a city full of dead people. And it's only a matter of time before we join them. I guess all those old Latin inscriptions were right. Pro peccata unius multis dolabunt. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
That is two endings, one more ending to go. I have to go talk to this god. Is everybody ready for the best ending in the game? Let's get to it. We're going for the final ending, people.
see.
Alright, let's do this.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drop.
Final ending, everybody. Everybody else, if you're able to, ready to experience this final ending, I am. It won't take long. We're gonna go talk to this god and tell him to release everyone. But let me save before I do it.
We've all right?
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what?
That's...
What?
Why do you...
I know. Please,
I'm sorry.
please, help him.
No, I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Orpheus, no!
I fucked up. I think I should have told my mans to save all of them real quick. I'm sorry. This is how it has to be.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow.
Sorry.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ah, I fucked up. Run, 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 run. Fucked up. I gotta tell him to save everyone for me. And then I talk to the god.
Oh.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
Let's wait a little bit before I decide to do all this. Let's wait a few seconds. Get ready, everybody. It's the final ending. Everyone ready? I'm just making sure it's all good before I decide to head out. There's still one more person I should talk to before I go in there. That asshole.
Citizen.
Whatever's in that grate... Oh. Malleolus. No. Malleolus.
Certainly. Very well.
Citizen.
I just want to make sure all this is done.
Good news, Ulpius. Malleolus has agreed to release you and Yulia from your debts.
What? Are you messing with me?
I wouldn't do that. You're both free.
We're free. We're free. Thank you. It seems fortune smiles on us after all. I'd better go and pay a visit to Yulia immediately.
I'm gonna go up there soon, people. I just want to make sure everything is good.
Yulia! I'm so glad you didn't go through with it.
It wasn't for lack of trying. And now Malleolus is going to... Wait.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Galerius arranged it somehow.
Really? That's... incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
Citizens, I have an announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default.
Actually, I'd like to nominate myself. If that's all right.
Of course, Galerius. That's your right. Citizens, the election will proceed.
Now.
And now...
Wonder how much one of these statues is... Well... Ow. Yeah? Sir. Pleasure doing business. Can I...
Citizen.
Okay, all done. And now we're gonna go talk to this person. We're gonna go talk to the god of the golden rule.
I hope you're coping.
Save. Speak his name. Hades, Lord of many great, the fierce one, grant. Okay, maybe I should fix that. He just does call himself Pluto now. I don't want to get the god mad at me trying to get the final achievement. I thought he would be known as Hades because... whatever. What the hell? This place looks futuristic. The Earth? What the hell? Everybody else seeing this? What the hell?
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You are unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will. My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know? It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey. My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords: desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive. No. Long ago I swore to Proserpina that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that. This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal. Your gaze lingers too long. That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions. As you wish. It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago. That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation, in a deep frozen sleep, to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you, without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting. There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina. As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten. To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for. Only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Persephone's along with it.
There's the final ending.
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer, and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth. Of course. That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing. That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold, and when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching, and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all, to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels. When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. A consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies. I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not? For you, perhaps. I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes. If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask? Then what an odd question. Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations, or are you going to give me an example? I have seen no such thing, but in any case, taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it. Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others. Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. A literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language. Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken. and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want? Then your desire to be right outweighs your desire to survive. You will make a fine statue. Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon? How dare you threaten her? This ends now. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
And here you are. No gull to the... And what... I would recognize that anywhere. And yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it? You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it. You have put me in an impossible position. If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium humiliated and alone. Perhaps you are cleverer than you appear, mortal. I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Proserpina was a fool to have ever believed in you at all. This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend. Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest. Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready? You had best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. Well, here I am. Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, foiling an assassination attempt, and so on. Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to her. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook, and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years? What? Oh, I see. For a moment there, I thought you were serious. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me. I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple. You go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
You're back! But you're alone. Oh, what a why don't you tell me what you discovered?
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions. You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time. That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. As you wish. That you were. It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course. I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al!
Kinda lost track of time in there. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who...
Sounds like quite a story. You two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you?
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read your book, and what the critics said about it. I guess they weren't ready for your theories about the underworld. Anyway, after everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius' tablet, and I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you, I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Oh, there she is! You're finally here. Remember me? crazy story. After you disappeared, Karen appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life. Oh, I used Karen's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course. It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
So they got teleported back to my time instead of their own.
I know. I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together.
Oh wow,
We're
you
planning to
got
get
married to the
next spring.
priestess? That's
If
crazy.
you're gonna be around, we'd love to see you there. Of course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you. So you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
Yeah, I'm so happy I did it.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius told me all about you. So, you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable. Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a
Oh,
lovely
she's
villa
having
in
a
the
baby.
countryside, with
Oh,
room
that's
for a large
nice.
family. And Dooley too, of course. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us. For all of us. Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself. At the wedding, I hope.
Oh, yay!
Oh, hello.
There
Dooley!
she is.
Hello. I'm Dooley.
We met.
Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it. I live at Galerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things, like brushing my teeth. Treasure? Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories. It's my favourite thing. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Dooley. It's nice to see you again.
Hi there. You're the Oracle, right? Oh, of course, sorry. And I never got a chance to thank you for telling Galerius how to save my life. And of course, getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation. Oh, I barely recognize myself. I'm living in a house share in London with my wonderful girlfriend. And I'm studying English at university.
Oh, wow.
Eventually, I want to travel the world and write about it. Turns out, it's about 30 times bigger than the Roman Empire ever was. Did you know there are entire continents Rome never knew existed? And you can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable. Oh, sorry, you already know all that, of course. I'm just so excited. There's so much to see and learn and write about. I have noticed people from your time have no idea how fortunate they are. I hope to change that. One day. Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire, and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital.
Funny.
As for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the underworld. After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude? I couldn't agree more. Ugh, someone told me she was boasting about getting her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently he'd proposed before they'd even met, and last I heard she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria? Some people have all the luck.
Oh no, she's dead.
Well, you are the Oracle, so I suppose I'll take your word for it. Huh. I feel better already. Thank you. You too. If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and listen to the stories of the 9 million people who live there. I hope so.
You are here. It's nice to finally meet you. Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So...
yeah, I defeated a god, I know.
I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time. I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time. You too. Don't be a stranger.
No problem, my friends.
Hey. Evening.
Tartarus,
Hi there, I'm Horatius.
Horatius. Hi.
I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life. And reuniting Scintilla with us as well. So, thank you. I'm living up north and studying in the military academy in Modena. I'm going to be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot. But some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new. As Seneca wrote, the ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides. Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever. Thanks. Oh, and I don't know if you've heard, but a few of us are going for drinks later. It'd be nice to chat with you some more. Great. He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC, so he started some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that. But his luck finally ran out, and his life along with it. You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Good. All the assholes who basically got what it was coming to them.
You're not wrong. See you at drinks later, I hope.
Definitely.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming. Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius after what happened.
Evening.
I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time. But he's been dealt with. He's... you know what? The important thing is, we'll never see him again.
I want to know what happened to him.
Anything I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever and do
I want to know what happened to
please.
him, that asshole.
Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere. He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the underworld.
He was turned into a golden statue, trapped forever.
Losing his mind
Great.
until the end of time. Eternal torment. Just
awesome.
what he deserves, if you ask me.
After all that stuff he did to those poor people, he definitely needed that. He did once tell me he wants to live forever. Now he got that choice.
Then I suppose he got his wish.
Hmm.
You too. See you around.
Greetings.
The Hermit! Can I finally know your name?
I take it you're the Oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. We have... I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip.
So that's your
I
name.
never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have the Tabasis to thank for it. I'm working as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge.
Oh wow, he's teaching people the real knowledge. Okay. It was good to see you again.
Thanks once again.
Hey, Georgius.
Magnificent museum, is it not? Greetings. You must be the legendary Oracle. It is a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius. I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that, I am most grateful. I am reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won. You too, my friend.
And look at you.
You're the one we've been waiting for. I'm Fabia. I wanted to say thanks for sending Galerius to save my life. I don't know how you knew. I'd been crushed by that shrine for sure. I'm just so happy to be here with you and everyone together again, even if it's just for one more night. Well, it's not like I have to work with all the silver Charon gave me, so I just do what makes me happy. Mostly that means baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in yoga pants. What a time to be alive. Thank you. I really am. You too.
Good evening.
Hello there.
Octavia.
Oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you. I've heard so much about you. I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it. I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. Not far from my old place. Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor. After you sent Galerius to persuade Ulpius not to take his own life, I was inspired. I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people, like you helped him. Thank you. That means a lot. And you.
Luvia. Huh.
Greetings. Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. In all the time I was in the underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium. I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while, at least until I'm well enough to be independent again. Ah, you remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years' worth of poetry to catch up on now. I'm already up to the 19th century, and am quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe. I think I may have found a kindred spirit. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence. And you. Farewell, friend.
Nice to see you, friend.
Some soiree, innit?
Dacius.
Oh, hello at last. You must be the oracle I've heard so much about. I'm Dacius. Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated. Whatever you did in that temple made me a very wealthy man. Thank you. Most gracious of you. I took the money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is now. In fact, I was hoping to ask your advice, you being the oracle and future seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend? Oh, don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Dacius. I won't take no for an
You're
answer.
a traitor. I don't want to help you. Huh. I'm trying to figure out which one will ruin his life the most. Which one do you think? He was an asshole who betrayed me and tried to leave me for dead in one of my timelines for money. I want the one that'll bring him the least success. DVD?
Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much
No,
stock as
this
I
is
can
before
tonight.
then. Yeah, it's still here. It's still there. It's not been made correctly. It hasn't been made correctly yet. That's why he's asking.
Of course, don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips, my friend.
Yeah, them tips will help you, alright? Kabosh! Nice to see you.
It is an honor to finally meet you, Oracle. You know my name? Oh, of course. You are an Oracle. You know many things. I too would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place, and for your role in bringing us here. This world is truly wondrous. For a time, I returned to Alexandria, but they have no need of another fisherman, and I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some fun.
Right.
Indeed. Thank you, Oracle.
Hello. Rufus and Virgil. Oh, what? I'm so shocked.
Nice to meet you. I go by Rufus now. New start, new name. Oh, and thanks, by the way, for telling Galerius how to treat my rheumatism. I probably would have lost my mind if it wasn't for that willow bark. Although, I think your people have a different name for it. Aspirin, I believe. Thank you. Really. Sorry, I'm no good with the mushy stuff. I live with Virgil in Rotterdam, not far from where he grew up. It's very modern.
Him and Virgil were together, but he was bad-mouthing him for being gay.
Rebuilt itself.
Hey, look how tables have turned.
For a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time. Good to know. Anyway, it was good practice for the new world. Security cameras and smartphones everywhere. Got to stay vigilant. You too. Look us up next time you're in the Netherlands. We're grateful.
It's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you. I wanted to thank you personally for getting us out of there. And for helping Rufus come to terms with himself. He may come off a little gruff, but once you get past that, he's a lovely fellow. I'm studying to be an architect again, and living with Rufus in our beautiful flat in Rotterdam. Just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are. You too, as Rufus said in his own laconic way. If you're ever in the Netherlands, we'd love to show you around. It's the least we could do.
Hello there.
Centella.
Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him. I'm living with Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's even more wonderful than I dreamed it would be. I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us. If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine. Thanks. You too.
Hi.
Ulpius?
It's nice to finally put a face to the name. I'm Ulpius. I understand I have you to thank for sending Galerius to save my life. The way you just showed up out of the blue and stopped me from making a terrible mistake, I'll be forever in your debt. I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria. We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of. It'll be a little while before we know what we're doing, but every day I look at her and this extraordinary new world with all its beauty, and I think, what if I'd given up hope and missed out on all of this? So we're living each day to the fullest. And we end them all the same way, sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals say is almost drinkable now, and watching the sunset over the rolling hillside. And I couldn't be happier. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you. You too.
Ow.
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Proserpina?
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been
Oh,
saving for a
wow.
long
The
time.
ex-goddess.
Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention. Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected. I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. So I whispered to Sentius in secret, telling him the prayer required to create a portal in my shrine. I knew the danger of humans being corrupted by godly power, and so I put a safeguard in place. I required the creator of the portal to sacrifice their own life, so that it could only be used selflessly to help others. What I did not anticipate is that Sentius would retain his accumulated memories from each previous day, and as a veteran soldier he had long since shed his fear of death. He quickly discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely by exploiting the cycle. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him, and there was little I could do but wait for someone like you to come along and see him for what he was. We were all fortunate you came along when you did. I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way. Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day. And you. although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
Huh?
Good, because they remember you. Well done, my friend.
All the golden
all the
statues
heroes
around the
ever turned
city
to the underworld
have
in
all
their
been set
time,
free.
None came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
The canon ending. We hope you enjoyed the Forgotten. Be able to make it even better games in the future. Recommended the Forgotten City to a friend or writing a review. The more people. Huh. I did it. That's all 4 endings. But there's still one more ending I need to do. I gotta convince him to let it go instead of threatening him. If I'm correct, this should be the final trophy. Wait, I need to load it one more time because I need to make sure. It might have been this save. I'm trying to figure out the save where it just spawns me in front of him. Is it? Nope, that wasn't it. I have to go back to the other one. Gotta go to this one to reset the day real fast.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Good. And now it is only... It has long been... When I... Charon, where did you find...
I do not remember. If that is true, then I sense the end of it.
How did you come to be in this time?
We cannot know.
Impossible. No. Not yet. Enough. Why? Going. You will Going. You know. You will How dare you?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
To extend my lifespan.
What? I'll go.
Ah, you're here. Why? Let's just... Not for a few weeks now. All right.
Cerberus lifts his dribble head and lets out his threefold graying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
He... And...
Bye-bye.
Places to be.
Very well. Another time.
Salve, Rufus. I hear your rheumatism
Welcome.
has you so riled up you've been harassing Virgil.
What?
I'm
My condition is no
glad.
business but mine.
There's no need for that.
Thank God. Finally, some relief after all this. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to leave Virgil alone. I know I haven't been at my best lately.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
Who's it from?
The Emperor. He knows Malleolus' real name is Proteus, thanks to Claudia, and demands he withdraw from the election.
Oh, don't mind me.
Yes, that ought to do it. I guess I'll go and tell Orpheus the good news then.
Citizen.
Salve. We've all... Are you...
And here you are. No, as but my I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it. When my for you, perhaps. I'm able to. Then what? Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations? I've seen no applying this. You speak of the moneylender. How is that inconsistent with the rule? And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce the terms of a contract signed voluntarily by others. Ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority, this is interesting. I'm curious, how do people escape poverty where you're from? I see. And how long might it take such a person to repay their debt? I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years. Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want? Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked? The midwife and the palace, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule? The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere shapes of their former selves. They are forsaken. What happens to them is no concern of mine. Applying this rule always requires us to... Now tell me. Abduction? You mean the magistrate imprisoning his daughter in the cistern, I take it? He did so because she sought to escape. A sin I take particularly seriously. Better that he stops her from escaping, albeit brutishly, than I have to wipe out this entire city to punish her. Wouldn't you agree? Supposing you're right. Now tell me. Do you honestly think you could do better? I should strike you down for that. Now, did you have any other questions before your reckoning? Very well. Good. Then now it is time for... Only, it has long been within my power to see into the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here? If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
He cannot know.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpina has slumbered for 3,000 years. Tread lightly, mortal. Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek? Your hubris is amusing, so I will allow you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or wrong-headed arguments, you face death here. So, tell me, why should I put an end to the so-called Golden Rule? That is a very serious accusation, mortal. What sin have I committed? What evidence do you have to support it? I am well aware of the story told by the Greeks and Romans of my so-called abduction. It is entirely unfair. My love was dying, and I intervened the only way I could to save her life. What would you have done? It was an act of rebellion against the others. She knew I would have to act to save her, and I did because I loved her. I love her still. Accordingly, I reject your argument. These people were all dead when my servant found them. I gave them a second chance at life. Would you prefer to have simply ceased to exist? Then you still have the option to end your life should you wish, and you are no worse off than if I had not intervened. Accordingly, I reject your argument. Every one of those people was guilty of failing to ensure their peers lived virtuously. They failed collectively, and so they were punished collectively. The Romans understand this, as did the Greeks before them. How unfortunate that we are not where you are from. Ah, but I am a god, and you are a mortal. Why would you expect me to treat you as I treat my own kind? You are not a peer, You are not a respected equal. Let me ask you this. Do you treat insects as you wish to be treated? Do you care for their well-being as you would your fellow man? Do you ensure they have food and shelter and protection from predators? Do you give them rights? Of course not, because that would be absurd, just as it would be absurd for me to treat your kind as equals. My love for her does not mean I am not superior, now that she is mortal. Bah! For a moment I thought you might have been building to a point, but I see now you are just a hubristic little creature. How so? And be specific. You have made a grave allegation, and I expect you to back it up. He is a volatile and confused fellow, that one. His cruelty does seem to grow greater by the day. Pathetic. You will need to do a lot better than that.
He cannot know.
I see what you are doing. You are trying to undermine the one thing keeping me anchored here. You are playing a dangerous game. Liar! How dare you come into my domain and attempt to undermine the thing I hold most sacred? You will make a fine statue. How dare you threaten her? The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. No go, but the one and I... That is... For you. Do you plan? Now he did better than... Now, I should... Now. My story... You will talk more... And so...
I do. If that... He cannot know.
I... Tread lightly. Ha ha ha. That is a very... These people were... Then you still have the option. Accordingly, every one of those... They... How unfair. Ah, but I'm a god. Do you ensure that... Of course not. Where to begin? Our lifespans exceed yours by thousands of years, in which time we accumulate vast wisdom and a mastery of technology you cannot begin to imagine. Because that is the source of our power over you. You could say that. My kin have no superiors. That is true. Go on. Make your point, mortal. Let me ponder that for a moment. If you are right, then it would follow that all this time I have been in the wrong. But no, the very thought of it grieves me. How can I accept your argument when doing so would make me a tyrant and a monster? Wait, what? What are you saying? You have spoken eloquently, and yet, if what you say is true, it follows that my wager was fatally flawed from the beginning. But that would mean Jupiter, Proserpina's father, who knew more about you than anyone, proposed a wager I could never win. Why would he do that? Perhaps. But if that was so, surely I would have sensed his deception. How could I have been so blind for so long? Your words sting me, mortal. But perhaps it is what I deserve. As difficult as this is to admit, I have suspected as much for a long time now. And I cannot deny it any longer. I've been so fixated on taking my beloved to Elysium.
Think I did it, people.
Every time one of you sing, it wore away my hope of being with her again. In time, I began to despise your kind for making her believe that you would ever be better than you are. But my rage was not born of malice. Quite the opposite. Everything I have done, I did because I loved her. Who knew this empathy of yours, which you celebrate so much, could have such a dark underside? This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this. If I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium,
and I got platinum,
your kind may ever ascend. Because doing so would violate the rules of my sacred agreement with Jupiter, and you would receive a hostile reception. The best I can do is return you to the land of the living. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest. Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you? Farewell, mortal.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of... Oh, to that lady in the... I'm fit for... Apparently, they believe then. Saving the life of a dying woman. Preventing the suicide of a man in debt bondage. Freeing a falsely accused prisoner. Foiling an assassination attempt. And so on. Meanwhile, the Oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just... Nobody knows what went on in there, but... Galerius wrote the Oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew... I'm gonna pause here for... You...
You're back!
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions. You can just I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found.
Huh. I wonder if their dialogue changes since I...
I'm sorry, what?
You're finally here. It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Carol even gave us some... Oh,
Oh, hello.
It's you. You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius told me all... I'm just teased.
And of course... Really? Huh. I feel better already. Thank you. You too.
Hey.
I'm living...
Greetings.
Hello.
Perhaps...
I want to make sure, it's just all the same dialogue. Okay, I got you, but still, I'm going to talk to them all real quick.
Well, most...
It's good to see you too, Fabia.
Some soiree, innit? Oh, there's no need to be like that. Whatever happened back... Listen, whatever... Such a acerbic wit. I love it. I took the money I made from... Oh, don't be... Of course, don't let...
Good evening.
You're...
We meet again. Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. In all the time I was...
I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name. After...
Allow me to... Indeed. I don't know what happened to him. Good. Because they remember you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
And that is it, everybody. Platinum, and the game is finished. This game was amazing in every single sense of the word. I loved it. This will forever be one of my favorite games. But that's all. I hope you keep watching. Have a good one, everyone. It's Red, and I'm out.